Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. With free agency beginning today, I wanted to make a video on just kind of what I think we should be expecting, or just kind of like a little bit more of an overview, some predictions, that type of thing for the Houston Rockets. Now, this is the first step in a very, very long rebuilding process. I've seen a couple of people ask for my opinions on the Houston Rockets making the playoffs. We'll have to monitor this free agency period because there's no way this Rocket squad makes the playoffs right now at the 8th seed, although there is a play-in tournament, so that's, good. But right now, I mean, this roster isn't really filled out. There's a bunch of question marks. We don't even know who our power forward. There's just way too many question marks right now, in my opinion, to make a clear-cut guess on where this team will finish next year. I think they'll finish better than they did this year, obviously. I need to see how they go about free agency in order to not only get a better understanding of what Stone wants the future to look like and kind of how he's going to get there. So we already have an upcoming player in Christian Wood. We have John Wall, who I act as if he's not on the team, although unfortunately he is on the team, and he really caps us out. Now, we've got Kevin Porter Jr., and we've got 4 first-round draft picks, so there's a ton of young talent in the air right now. And I think that if Stephen Silas makes the right moves, then one of those players will be another star, right? If they develop these guys the way we hope they to develop them, you got to think that one of our 4 first-round draft picks is going to be a star. Hopefully it's Jalen Green and somebody else. But even if we get one star out of those first 4 picks, it's a massive success. Now, as far as free agency is concerned, the Rockets still have some room to work with. The thing is, they've been rumored to be interested into guys like Daniel Theis. They've been interested in Zach Collins, Justise Winslow. I think that's going to be a growing theme for the next couple of days. I'm sure the Houston Rockets will be very interested in a bunch of different players. Will they make the moves? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, and I'll use the Pistons as a comparison. The Pistons seem to be in the same boat as us. There's all these reports coming out, all these rumors that the Pistons are involved and interested in all these veteran-esque players, and it doesn't make much sense. It really just does not make any sense, and I think that's just reporters trying to get more clicks. I don't think that the Houston Rockets will have as active of a offseason in the big name market as some people are expecting. I mean, some people are thinking we're going to go out and trade for Karl-Anthony Towns in the offseason, or we're going to go out and sign John Collins to a max extension. I like John Collins, not enough to sign him to my team. He did have they averaged 21.6 and 10. I mean, showed up in some playoff games. I mean, this guy was a solid player. And that's not enough for me. I'm sure he is a solid player, but it's just not enough for me. I like what he fits our timeline fine. My issue isn't money. It's just John Collins' game. I've seen a lot of people in my comments. I've seen a lot of articles even be written about the Rockets going after a guy like John Collins to fill in that 4 role. And I agree we need to figure something out at number 4. However, it's not John Collins to me. If he showed a little bit more to me this season, yeah, but I mean, the guy's not really a playmaker. He can't create shots for himself. I can't wait to see John Collins on a team without Trae Young right now, just because I want to know what it looks like. I want to know what he's about. Before I sign him to a 5-year max extension contract, I want to see if he's able to score the basketball without Trae Young, because whenever Trae Young doesn't play basketball games, John Collins' game kind of dwindles. Now, I don't think that Justise Winslow is... I don't think Justise, Daniel Theis... Hey, that rhymed. Just Tyson Daniel Tice. And Zach Collins. Maybe Zach Collins they'll have some interest in. I think that if they're going to sign somebody, it's going to be one big-ish name player. And I'm not even talking big-ish like Kelly Oubre. I'm talking big-ish like the three names I just mentioned. Now, I've seen a couple of stuff about some guys wanting to go after Lauri Markkanen. A lot of Rocket fans think Christian Wood's the face, and Wood Markkanen duo defensively, it would be so bad. It would be so bad. Offensively, they're both stretch bigs. They would cause massive headaches for other teams, but just defensively, I don't see that working out too well. So I'll have to kibosh, as a Bulls guy, I'll have to kibosh Lauri Markkanen coming to the Rockets, in my opinion. Now, if he could be a bench player, and we're only talking like 10 to 12 million coming to the Rockets, 10 to 12 a year to come off the bench, I'll use that because he is a good catch and shooter. He shot 40.5% from deep in catch and shoot situations this past season, and just overall from the 3-point line, he shot 40.2. So only 24 years old. It's just, I don't want him starting. Now, apparently with Lauri, he does want to get paid, and the Bulls and him are only about $4 million a year apart. That gives me a little concern because I'm sure the Bulls are giving him like 10 to 11 a year, or maybe even 12, and Lauri's asking for 15 plus. So he said that money isn't his biggest priority, but he does want to get paid. He wants to play basketball, and he wants to get paid. So I don't think that Lauri will be a good fit here because 15 off the bench, it doesn't make much sense. It just doesn't make much sense to pay somebody $15 million to come off the bench, especially when you're paying Eric Gordon about $20 million to come off the bench. And that's, we're really setting ourselves up to be really restricted in the future years. So another player I saw in a couple of articles was Tim Hardaway Jr. Kind of interesting. I don't think that he has a single slightest bit of interest to come play for Houston, especially after Dallas's playoff run, Dallas's success-ish in the playoffs. I don't think that he would have enough interest coming to the Rockets unless he got paid very nicely, and that's not really something that I think we need to do. Another guard that we're going to pay a bunch of money to. It doesn't really make much sense. He averaged 16.6 points per game on 44.7 from the field, 39% from deep. So he would definitely help us. He would be a major, if there was a way to somehow do a sign and trade deal, Eric Gordon for Tim Hardaway Jr., sign me up every single day of the week. However, I don't think Dallas has too much interest in that. I would have to imagine Tim Hardaway Jr. will be going to either a contender or just re-signing back with Dallas. So I wouldn't expect too much from free agency in the next couple of days, maybe just a little bit of interest, but I would not expect any signings until they figure out what's going to happen to Kelly Olynyk. So I'm sure Stone is figuring out how to move John Wall, how to move Eric Gordon, how to move DJ Augustine, how to move Daniel House. But for right now, it's just time to sit back, relax, and trust the process. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the sub button. It means a lot to me. Plenty of Rockets content coming all off season, and I'll see you guys later.